Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and I wanted to go into this proposed limited military draft that a combat veteran has brought up. Apostle Tahar has gone into this, and Elder Yashwamba, and I just wanted to take a look at it as well. So this is from American Military News, and it says military draft proposed by 20-year Marine Corps combat veteran. It says a 20-year combat veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps is proposing that the United States consider a hybrid model for military conscription that would reinstitute a limited draft in conjunction with the nation's volunteer recruits. And this war is going to get kicked off eventually, and it's going to not just be a limited draft, it's going to be an all-out draft where they're drafting men and women, effeminate, and not. They're going to be drafting everyone within military age to go and fight World War III. It says retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Plensler, who served as the strategic communication advisor for 3 Marine Corps commandments from 2010 to 2015, recently explained that the United States has used a combination of volunteers and draftees to meet our national defense personnel needs, particularly in the face of crisis. But according to Plensler, the U.S. military currently requires roughly 160,000 service members to enlist out of 30 million eligible citizens in order to achieve its recruitment goals. However, Plensler claims that after 2 decades of war that ended unsuccessfully in relatively low unemployment numbers, experts believe that the all-volunteer force has reached a breaking point. Additionally, Plensler said public confidence in the military has diminished in recent years. However, Plensler believes the issue can quickly be resolved with a change in the military's recruitment process. And so, with the internet, people can actually see what's going on, and people see that the U.S. military is corrupt. They see that the CIA goes around destabilizing countries and setting up puppet governments, puppet leaders, and that the military, the men in the military are actually just pawns to the elite, to the war pigs that are always gathered for war, and people just don't want to do it anymore. Not to mention there's all sorts of ways to make money. There's all sorts of just anything else you could do besides join the military and fight for what used to be your country, but now people are understanding that it's for the elite and the powers that be, and they just don't want to do it. There's also people aren't as they're not as patriotic as they used to be, as well as men's testosterone have been dropping for years due to the chemicals all throughout the earth, the pollution, the GMO foods, and just terrible foods, and setting up women over men. This is all dropped testosterone, so you don't have virile men looking to fight in wars. So continuing on, it says instead of either an all volunteer force or a fully conscripted force model, I propose a both and solution. He said, we should have our military recruiters sign up new troops for 11 months out of the year, and then have the selective service draft the delta between the military's needs and the total number recruited. Plensler believes the combination of a volunteer force and a limited draft would reduce the pressure of military recruiters, reduce the cost of recruitment, and bridge the gap between civilians and military members by subjecting all of America's youth to the possibility of military service through a limited draft. And so this idea has been talked about a lot recently over the last few years because numbers are falling and they need recruits, they need members to carry out these wars. And the fact is America's just stretched too thin, just like ancient Rome, and it's going to be their downfall. And so let's take a look at some of the men, or a man that's in the military. This is a TikToker that's gone viral lately, and this guy right here, he's completely effeminate, and he kind of makes fun, pokes fun at Gen Z in the military, but the military and the government have allowed things like this to happen. There used to be to where this couldn't happen at all in the military. I believe the term decimation, which is 1 out of every 10, hence deca for 10th, that used to happen in the military for sodomy, and they would blame the whole regiment on it, and they'd line up, and every 1 out of 10 would have to get beaten by the other 9 to death for sodomy or for going away from a battle or anything that could be seen as dishonorable. That was one of the punishments. And then here in modern day, it used to be just not accepted at all. And then it became don't ask, don't tell. And then I think Obama said they could be all out. And now you have the Transformers or Transams that are actually in the military, and you've got women in the military, and you've got effeminate men in the military, and you have men that still might be in their masculine, but their testosterone is not that of a man 40 years ago. This is just a recipe for disaster, and it's just prophetically where Babylon goes. It's not going to win this war that's coming up. And so taking a look at this guy, it says the U.S. Army soldier behind the viral Gen Z on the battlefield video says people need to wake up and realize this ain't the old army. And we're just going to read the bullet points here. I went and checked out his channel, and some of it's kind of funny because it's kind of true. It's a bunch of effeminate men and Gen Z running around and not being your typical military men. It says U.S. Army soldier Anthony Gonzalez went viral on TikTok for making videos mocking Gen Z on the battlefield. Oh, and also going to his channel, he's got makeup tutorials and all these things. He's a very effeminate man that is in the military with a masculine position. And it's funny. It's a shame, really. It's shameful to America, and the other nations see this, and they know that this is the time to strike. So this 21-year-old says that he sees hate comments on his posts, but they don't bother him at all. Of course, this ain't the old army. Time has passed and things have changed, Gonzalez told Insider. And so that's all we have to look at. I'm not gonna put that on the Okium to even have to see this man's videos, but you're free to go check it out on your own. And so let's just go ahead and get into the scriptures. Actually, we will start here at Isaiah 19 and 14. It says, the Lord Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And that perverse spirit, you can see it. It's all the alphabet stuff. It's all the various philosophies. It's the feminism that's been pushed all throughout Babylon and throughout the world, and it's not going to work out for this war. It says, "In that day shall Egypt be like unto women." And that guy Anthony Gonzalez, he has makeup tutorials, and he's supposed to be a mighty man of Babylon. And it says, "And it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the Lord of armies, which he shaketh over it." And so there are all sorts of people that traditionally would not be seen as mighty men or soldiers. They are the ones that are carrying out these battles nowadays. And it's going to mark the end of Babylon. It's not smart. It's shameful unto Esau how he's going to be going out. So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and verse 37. "A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her." That her being Babylon the Great, aka America. And the time of war is fast approaching. There's a time for peace, and there is a time for war. And we are coming into that time of war. The war drums are beating. And you can see it in North Korea. You can see it with Russia and the war in Ukraine. You can see it with these African countries. You can see it with China. And America is going to be on all of these fronts. And even America's allies are going to change sides and fight against America and the land of Israel. It says in Revelation, it says the beast being NATO and EU, shall hate the whore being America, and make her desolate and burn her with fire, because they are going to turn on this place and nuke it. But that war is fast approaching upon all the mingled people, and is America not called the great melting pot? And it says, "And they shall become as women." And that guy, again, he is doing makeup tutorials. Also, there is a lack of soldiers trying to join because, the patriotism is not there. The testosterone is not there for them to be warriors. And there are actual women within the armed forces. And Transams, they are within the armed forces. They don't know who they are. They're very effeminate nowadays. And it says the effeminate shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. It says, "A sword is upon all her treasures, and they shall be robbed." Because America will be spoiled. It is written. And the Lord is not a man that he should lie. It says, this is Jeremiah 51 and 30. It says, "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight." Lack of recruits. They have forborne to fight. And they're going to have to issue a draft. So they have remained in their holds. And these men are here playing video games and putting on makeup. It says, "Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken." No chance for this place. It is not going to make it. And it's really that wisdom is banished in Teman, because what sense does that make to destroy your people like that? You should make your men as masculine and as strong as possible so that they can upkeep and protect your society, and you should keep your women as effeminate or feminine as possible so that they can raise and bring up the next generation. This confusion, this perverse spirit that is here, it's not a way to upkeep a society. So last verse, Jeremiah 50 In verse 30, it says, "Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh." This is the end of Babylon. We are at its end, and it's can't come soon enough. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, or Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.